Hi there, this is Chris from Moto Legends. I am the chap in the cap. Here today to talk to you about a glove from Richa. It's called the Hurricane GTX. Now, Richa hasn't historically been a Moto Legends kind of brand. It's a very solid mid-market brand. It's not highfalutin, all singing and dancing. But what we found is that some products that Richa produce are simply outstanding. And when we find a product from any manufacturer that we think stands out, we will choose that product. A non-glove product that is just such an example from Richa is what we call their stripper pant. It's a commuting pant, zips up the side. We've been looking all over for something that commuters could wear over their workwear. This pant, beautiful and comfortable, waterproof membranes, some thermal, armor included, zips up the side. It is a fantastic trouser and we love it to death. We've also found that some of their gloves really do punch above their weight. So we have a number of Richa gloves in our range at present and they're all rather special, often representing amazing value for money. So this is the Hurricane GTX. It is what is sometimes termed a summer waterproof glove. Some people call these mid-season gloves, some people call these 2 to 3 season gloves. It's the kind of glove that you can wear if you're the kind of rider who only tends to ride across the majority of the season. So you take your bike out at the beginning of April, you put it away at the end of October, you might be able to get away with just this one pair of gloves or a pair of gloves like this for your entire year's riding. I suppose there's a scenario in the middle of summer if it's really hot, if it's up in the 30s, the membrane in a glove like this is going to make it harder for your skins to breathe. So a glove without a membrane is going to be a little bit cooler. And also, of course, a glove with a membrane, as the wind tries to cool your hand down, if you've got a membrane, that won't happen as much. It's not a winter glove because there's no thermal in this. This is just leather and a waterproof membrane. So if you ride deep into the winter, you don't want a glove like this. Albeit, if you had heated grips, if you had Oxford grips with their 9 settings, you might be able to ride these gloves deeper into the winter. But this is never going to be your first and foremost winter glove if you do a lot of winter riding. So let's talk through the glove in terms of its spec because it's pretty impressive. It is a Gore-Tex glove. Now that's impressive on a glove at this price, and the price, by the way, is $99.99. So a Gore-Tex membrane in any glove at this price is a positive. But this is not just a Gore-Tex membrane, it's a laminated membrane. Just going to talk you through the difference between a laminated membrane and what we call a drop liner membrane. A laminated membrane is where they take the membrane and they heat seal it or bond it to the inside of the outer fabric. This can be on a jacket or a pant or a glove. The other form of construction is where you have the outer fabric and then you have the membrane just hanging loose. Now, when you have hanging loose, or what we call a drop liner membrane, the water can come in heavy rain, can soak the outer fabric, and it can sit there between the fabric and the membrane. You may not get wet because the water cannot actually get through the membrane because the tiny holes are too small for water droplets, but you can be riding along in a glove that is wet, that's heavy, with the wind chill factor that could be making you feel cold. When you have a laminated membrane that's stuck onto the outer fabric, the water just cannot penetrate the fabric. The glove may get damp in heavy rain, but it won't be able to come inside the glove. The glove will not get soaking wet. As you're riding along in the rain, you will feel warmer because there's not so much water there, and obviously you will stay drier longer. The glove also, a laminated glove, will dry out much faster once you stop riding. So to find a laminated membrane, what Gore-Tex call a Gore Grip membrane in a £99 glove is pretty exceptional. It's a mid-length cuff glove. A glove like this, a waterproof glove, I would always expect to be worn inside the cuff of a jacket. That's a perfect length for that. Obviously there's a wrist adjuster there to keep it nice and tight, but you would want to bring the cuff of the jacket over the wrist cuff of the glove. You then do the zip up, fasten the Velcro tight. Like that, any rain that's coming down the sleeve cannot get into the glove, and if you've cinched it tight enough, water can't come in either. So it's not a short glove, it's a mid-length glove, but that's perfect for going underneath a waterproof jacket. Hard knuckle protector here, if that's your preferred option. There's the jury's out. There are some people who prefer soft knuckle protectors, some prefer hard knuckle protectors, but that's a very solid bit of kit there. You have a soft pad there. That's a scaphoid protector. Important part of any glove, we feel. If you have an accident, if you have time, there's a tendency, it's an instinctual thing, you put your hand out to try to break your fall. When you do, it's the palm here that will catch it first. It's the scaphoid bone, and if you've got a protector there to absorb the impact, that can only be of help. In terms of other features on the glove, it's a mix of textile and leather. You've got accordion stretch panels here that just allow the fingers to articulate more freely. You've got the same on the thumb there, so that's nice, easy movement. On the palm, you've got extra layers of leather. You've got a layer here of what we call digiprint leather. Now that's doing two things. It's a reinforcing element here. Another common accident on the bike, as you come off the bike, you can end up pushing your finger against the bars. That extra bit of leather, it won't stop your finger moving back under extreme force, but it could make the difference between an injury that is bad and an injury that is not so bad. So always useful to have an extra piece of reinforcing leather there. You've got a leather panel down the side with a soft protector in there. So looking at these gloves, it's got all of the protection that you might expect. It's a fantastic glove. It feels really comfy to wear. It's going to be as waterproof as anything. But the value for money, £99, I've got to tell you, is just amazing. There's a sister glove from Richa called the Laminated GTX. That's also a fantastic glove. It's got some extra features that this glove doesn't, so that's £120. Would be an interesting glove to compare this with. The rucker equivalent is called the Virium, but that's 160 odd pounds. There's another glove that would be in the same category, so a summer waterproof glove from Klim, and that's 185 pounds. So there are lots of gloves out there that do what these gloves do. All those gloves I mentioned are all laminated Gore-Tex gloves, but to find that technology in a glove that's as nice to wear for this kind of price is really outstanding. And if you want the ultimate in waterproofing in a summer waterproof glove, you've really got to look at this particular glove. Anyway, if you would like to read more about the glove, visit the website www.motolegends.com. If you would like to subscribe to our email bulletins on the front page of the website, there are lots of little blocks, little squares, we call them tiles. You can subscribe to our bulletins by finding the one that says subscribe. That way you'll receive information about all the new products that come into the building, and throughout the year we get products almost every day of the year. So that's a useful way of keeping in touch with all that's new and exciting in the world of motorcycling. If you prefer to get your information videographically, then we would be delighted if you chose to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can do that on the subscribe button below. If you are so excited about these Hurricane GTX gloves that you feel you cannot live without a pair, you can click on the button top right of the screen and go direct to the relevant page, and you can buy yourself a pair today. Anyway, this has been Chris at Moto Legends, the Richa Hurricane GTX glove, $99.99. You can't go wrong. We look forward to talking to you again soon.